Hey everyone, welcome back to the Archangel 15. Can you believe after 2 years, I finally have my account up and running again? After submitting an appeal, I was able to win. This is what they said to me. After taking another look, we can confirm your channel does not violate our community guidelines. Thanks for your patience while we review this appeal. Our goal is to make sure content doesn't violate our community guidelines so that YouTube can be a safe place for all. And sometimes we make mistakes. We're trying to get it right. We're sorry for any frustration or mistake has caused you and appreciate you letting us know. So they apologized to me in the end. Ask yourself, who else do you know that has posted content as controversial as me and still has a channel up and running? I'm, like I said, going to try very, very hard to avoid contentious subject matter, and I'm going to change the whole way I do things on this channel. I'm going to focus on like 3 or 4 really, really big hitting things that I don't see anybody else talking about. And like I said, I always will call out bullshit when I see it and give my spin on things. And my main concern right now is with Trump. Like I said, like I hope and pray that this guy does not try to run for a third term. There's like some real shady stuff before the second term. I'm not going to get into. Basically, more or so less, I really believe the intent of our founding fathers was, like I said, to not have to not have a monarchy. And like I said, that's what he's talking about doing by putting a third term. And whether you believe the consecutive thing or not a consecutive thing, that's up to you. I guess it's open to interpretation, but I don't believe it's the intent of our founding fathers, and I don't think it's good for our country. I'm going to leave it at that. There's very other serious things that are going on right now. Inflation is very, very scary. There's really a bigger agenda with the inflation thing, like where I live, to essentially gentrify people, like get rid of the good old boys and replace everybody with controllable people. And the agenda's been going on for a while, but they basically will just price you out of the area you live in. And it's a sad thing, but, there's sadder things. Like one thing I really want to focus on this channel is human refinement cages. Human refinement cages are like everywhere in the entire world. If you travel the world, like you probably know about this. Like I said, basically they sell little girls like for sex puppets and like have them in little cages, and like have rich people have their own collections, like a haberdashery, like a men's store of like kind of like a menagerie of sorts, like collection of genetics. And there's people that try to speak out against this in the past and like lost their lives. I did a presentation on John Henry Hines, and he's a true American hero. He tried to speak out against this, and like I said, paid for it with his life. He was a multi-billionaire and would have been an amazing, amazing president. And like I said, he was a middle of the roader as well. Not going to get into like I said, too much for today, but there's amazing stuff I'm doing regarding telekinetic research and telekinetic phenomenon. I'm going to have to do a whole separate presentation on telekinetic research and telekinetic phenomenon. But like, you see my cloud formation stuff if you're familiar with my channel in the past, and it ties all together, like the matrix, the cloud formations, the alchemy, and astral phenomenon. And it's really amazing. I'm starting to like piece it together. And also with male genetics, I've noticed like phenomenon with telekinetic abilities. The same thing as like my cloud formations, like in male genetics. And like I'm trying to think of a way that I can do this and like post it or like post a link to it without being too grotesque. But it's very, very interesting. If anybody else out there has any men have telekinetic genetics, please let me know. I'm like doing my own research. To my knowledge, I don't know anybody else that does. If you like want to see a picture, like I said, message me. I'll send you pictures and video. The astral, like basically telekinetics. You want to start talking like telekinetic abilities, scalar warfare. It gets into like deep, like symbolism, like the Star of David is above as below. Like basically, you like the scalar weapons that exist. Like there's undeniable proof. There was something called the Giza Death Star. It was like falls into this category of scalar weapons. And, like supposedly it was like the true intended nature or true intent of the pyramid of Giza, and like I could get into a whole bunch of stuff about the limestone cap and all the other stuff about it. Like really cool. I read a book on it. But real interesting stuff with telekinetic phenomenon, scalar warfare. scalar weapons, and they basically operate outside of like normal physics, but are like somehow they're explainable, but they're not explainable, I guess, if you can understand that. So I'm gonna stop right here probably for right now. Eventually I'm going to do some more presentations and still do some cloud formation stuff, suppressed medical science if I ever come across it. If I find a good recipe or two, I'll share that with you as well. Kind of like doing my own thing here on the Archangel 15. And like I said, I have over 300 presentations on this channel. So if you're not familiar with my work, please take the time and, like I said, look at some of my suppressed medical science stuff or other stuff that I've done that is of scholarly level work. And if you have any requests, I also take requests as well. Stay well. Take care, folks. God bless.